Have you ever felt a quiet shift in the relationship with your adult children? Perhaps the phone calls are less frequent. Their advice is given more often than sought. Or you find yourself feeling a little less like the wise elder you once were, and a little more like, well, just a parent they need to check in on. It's a painful reality many of us face. Isn't it? That subtle sting of not quite feeling as respected or as vital to their decisions as you once did. You might even find yourself wondering if you've done something wrong, or if this is just the natural course of things as they build their own lives. But what if I told you there's a secret to regaining that genuine respect? That open dialogue, that deep connection you crave. It's not about demanding it, or even about changing them. It's about changing how we interact, how we present ourselves, and how we live our own lives. It's about powerful, subtle shifts in your approach that can utterly transform your relationships. In this video, we're going to look at 5 powerful moves that can help you rebuild that profound respect from your children, transforming your family dynamics for the better. Watch to the end for something that might just surprise you about this whole journey. Now, let's dive into the first powerful move that can profoundly impact how your children view you, and that is to truly practice active listening and validate their feelings. It sounds simple, doesn't it? We all think we listen to our children, but active listening goes so much deeper than just waiting for your turn to speak, or formulating your advice while they're still talking. It means truly tuning in, putting aside your own assumptions, your own agenda, and any immediate urge to fix their problems or offer solutions. Think about it when your child comes to you with a challenge, whether it's about their work, their own children, or a relationship struggle. What's your first instinct for many of us? It's to jump in with, "Well, you should have done this." Or, "When I was your age, I handled it this way." Or, "You just need to." While these intentions come from a place of love and wanting to help, they often inadvertently communicate that you don't fully trust their ability to navigate their own lives, or that their feelings aren't quite valid. Active listening starts with being fully present. That means putting down your phone, turning off the television, and looking them in the eye when they share something. Try repeating back what you heard in your own words to ensure you've understood them correctly. Phrases like, "So, if I'm hearing you right, you're feeling really overwhelmed by the demands at your job right now." Or, "It sounds like you're experiencing a lot of frustration with that situation," can make a world of difference. This isn't about agreeing with them. It's about acknowledging their experience and their emotions. It tells them, "I see you, I hear you, and your feelings matter." When you validate their feelings, even if you don't agree with their choices or perspective, you create a safe space for them to open up. They begin to feel truly heard and understood, rather than judged or lectured. Let me give you an example. Imagine your daughter is upset because she had a disagreement with a friend. Instead of immediately saying, "Well, you shouldn't have said that," or "You need to apologize," try saying, "It sounds like you're really hurt by what happened, and that disagreement felt quite unfair to you." Give her space to elaborate. Ask open-ended questions like, "How is that making you feel?" or "What do you think might help you feel better about this?" You'll notice a shift. They'll start to come to you not just for solutions, but for connection and understanding. When they feel truly seen and heard, they begin to trust you more deeply. And that trust is a cornerstone of respect. They'll start to view you as a true confidant, someone who respects their journey, even if it's different from your own. This isn't about giving up your wisdom. It's about delivering it in a way that empowers them. Rather than diminishing them, it shows them that you respect their autonomy and their journey, which naturally makes them respect you in return. It cultivates a relationship where your children feel secure enough to share their vulnerabilities, knowing they won't be immediately corrected or dismissed. This is how you foster a relationship of mutual respect. Now, flowing seamlessly from truly listening to our children, the second powerful move we need to embrace is setting healthy boundaries, and crucially, sticking to them. This might feel counterintuitive to gaining respect, especially if you're used to being the ever-available, always say yes parent. But think about it if you never say no. If you're constantly dropping everything to cater to their needs or demands, what message are you subtly sending? You might be unintentionally teaching them that your time, your space, and your own life are secondary to theirs. True respect isn't built on constant accommodation. It's built on a clear understanding of mutual value and limits. Setting boundaries isn't about being rigid or uncaring. It's about defining the parameters of your relationship in a way that respects both you and your children. It could be about your time. I'm happy to help with the grandchildren on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I need those other days for my own appointments and hobbies. Or about your finances. I love you, but I'm not in a position to lend money for that right now. Or even about unsolicited advice. I've noticed I sometimes offer advice when you haven't asked for it, and I want to respect your process. From now on, I'll only offer my thoughts if you explicitly ask for them. The key is to communicate these boundaries calmly, clearly, and consistently. Don't apologize for having them, and don't back down the moment there's resistance or a slight emotional manipulation. Imagine your adult child frequently calls you late at night to vent about their day, disrupting your sleep. A healthy boundary might be, I love hearing from you, but my bedtime is 9 p.m. If you need to talk after that, please send a text and I'll call you back first thing in the morning. At first, they might push back or forget, but if you consistently respond with, I'd love to chat, but it's after 9, I'll call you tomorrow, they will learn. Or perhaps your children expect you to babysit at the drop of a hat, without much notice. A boundary could be, I adore spending time with the grandkids, but I need at least 48 hours notice for babysitting requests, so I can plan my own schedule. This isn't about making them feel guilty. It's about teaching them to value your time and to plan ahead. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you teach your children that you are a person with your own needs, your own life, and your own priorities. You demonstrate self-respect, and in doing so, you implicitly demand it from them. They begin to see you as a strong, independent individual, not just someone who is always there to solve their problems or fulfill their requests. This shift from endless accommodation to respectful boundaries can initially feel uncomfortable, but it ultimately leads to a healthier, more balanced relationship built on genuine respect, where both parties feel valued and seen. It's about showing them you have a full and valuable life beyond just being their parent, which makes them appreciate your presence in their lives even more. This isn't about creating distance. It's about creating a stronger, more equitable foundation for your connection, where their reliance on you shifts from expectation to appreciation. Following on from setting clear boundaries, our third powerful move is to lead by example, to show, rather than just tell. This might be one of the most profound ways to earn respect, not just from our children, but from anyone. Think about the people you truly admire. Isn't it often because of how they live their lives, how they handle challenges, how they treat others, and how they conduct themselves? Rather than just what they say, our adult children are no different. While they might not always admit it, they are watching us, learning from us, and forming their opinions based on our actions, often more so than on our words of wisdom. If you want your children to be resilient, show them your own resilience when faced with setbacks. If you want them to be responsible, demonstrate responsibility in your own finances, your health, and your commitments. If you want them to treat others with kindness and respect, ensure you are modeling that behavior in your own interactions, not just with them, but with everyone you encounter. For instance, if you constantly complain about your own financial struggles but never take steps to address them, or if you speak negatively about others behind their backs, your children will pick up on that dissonance. They won't respect your advice on financial prudence or kindness if they don't see you embodying those qualities yourself. Consider how you handle your own emotional well-being. If you are constantly stressed, anxious, or dramatic. Yet you tell your children to be calm and composed. They will see the disconnect, but if you show them how you manage stress through healthy habits, how you bounce back from disappointment, or how you maintain positive relationships, you become a living blueprint for a fulfilling life. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic and striving to be your best self. It's about admitting your mistakes when you make them and showing how you learn and grow from them. That vulnerability, coupled with continued effort, is incredibly powerful. When they see you actively pursuing your passions, maintaining your health, nurturing your friendships, and handling life's inevitable challenges with grace and integrity, they will naturally look up to you. They will see you as a capable, thriving individual, full of life and wisdom, rather than someone who is merely existing or relying on them for their sense of purpose. This kind of respect is organic. It's earned through the quiet consistency of your character and actions, which speaks volumes more than any lecture ever could. They'll naturally begin to seek your counsel because they see the positive results of your choices in your own life, moving from leading by example. Our fourth powerful move is to offer support without intervening unnecessarily. This is a subtle but crucial distinction, particularly as our children become fully independent adults navigating their own complex lives. As parents, our instinct is often to protect, to fix, to smooth over rough patches. We've done it for their entire lives, and it's a deeply ingrained part of who we are. But as they mature, too much intervention can inadvertently send the message that we don't trust their judgment, their capabilities, or their ability to learn from their own experiences, even mistakes. This can breed resentment rather than respect. Instead of rushing in to solve their problems, try offering a supportive presence and asking, "How can I help?" Or, "Is there anything you need from me right now?" Sometimes, all they need is a listening ear, a shoulder to lean on, or simply the reassurance that you're there for them, no matter what. This allows them to maintain their autonomy and empowers them to find their own solutions, which is a vital part of adult development. Imagine your son is struggling with a difficult decision at work. Your immediate thought might be to tell him exactly what he should do, based on your own experience. But a more respectful approach would be to listen carefully to his dilemma, ask clarifying questions, and then say, "That sounds like a really tough spot. What options have you considered?" Or, "How do you feel about each of those paths?" You're still providing support, but you're shifting the responsibility for the decision back to him. This also applies to situations involving your grandchildren. It can be incredibly tempting to jump in and correct your adult child's parenting choices, especially if they differ from your own. However, unless there's a genuine safety concern, stepping back and trusting them to parent their own children builds immense respect. You can offer help where it's truly needed, perhaps watching the kids so they can have a date night, or sharing a family recipe. But resist the urge to critique their discipline methods or their dietary choices for their children. By supporting them as parents, even when you might do things differently, you validate their role and their authority, which in turn reinforces their respect for you. They'll appreciate your presence as a supportive grandparent far more than a critical one. When you allow your children the space to navigate their own challenges and make their own choices, you show a profound trust in their abilities. This trust is deeply respected. They learn that you are a safe harbor, a source of comfort and non-judgmental support, rather than a controller or an endless well of unsolicited advice. This fosters a relationship where they come to you because they want your perspective, not because they feel obliged. And that is where genuine respect flourishes. Finally, we arrive at the fifth, and perhaps most surprising, powerful move: cultivating your own fulfilling life. This might seem selfish or unrelated to gaining respect from your children, but it is, in fact, incredibly vital. Many parents, especially as they age, fall into the trap of making their children and grandchildren the sole focus of their existence. While family is undeniably important, when your entire identity and happiness revolve around your adult children. It can inadvertently place an enormous, often unspoken, burden on them. It can lead to a dynamic where they feel responsible for your happiness, or where they view you as needing to be entertained or constantly checked in on. This isn't a recipe for respect. It's a recipe for obligation, and sometimes, even subtle resentment. Instead, imagine being a vibrant, interesting individual with a rich life of your own. When you have your own hobbies, your own friends, your own passions, and your own goals, you become a fascinating person to be around. Not just a parent, your children will see you as a complete individual, thriving and engaged with the world. This makes your time together more valuable and your wisdom more sought after. You won't be waiting by the phone for their calls, or feeling disappointed if they're busy. You'll be busy yourself, experiencing life fully. For example, if you spend your days volunteering at a local charity, learning a new language, traveling with friends, or pursuing a long-held creative passion, your conversations with your children will be richer. You'll have interesting stories to share, new perspectives to offer, and a dynamic energy that is infectious. They'll see that you are content and fulfilled independently, which frees them from the pressure of being your primary source of joy or activity. This independence and self-sufficiency are incredibly attractive qualities. When your children see you living a life of purpose and joy, it sends a powerful message that you are strong, capable, and don't need them to complete you. This not only lightens the emotional load on them, but also earns their admiration. They will respect your drive, your happiness, and your ability to create a meaningful life for yourself. They'll appreciate your company more because your time together will be about genuine connection and shared enjoyment, not fulfilling an unspoken duty. They'll realize you are a person of value in your own right, someone they genuinely want to spend time with and learn from. So, when we talk about gaining respect, it's not about being demanding or trying to control your adult children. It's about a gentle but profound shift in how we approach these relationships and our own lives. We've explored 5 powerful moves actively listening and truly validating their feelings, setting clear and healthy boundaries and consistently upholding them, leading by example in how we live our own lives, offering support without stepping in unnecessarily, and finally, cultivating a rich and fulfilling life for ourselves. Each of these steps contributes to building a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. Remember, these changes don't happen overnight. It takes patience, consistency, and a willingness to reflect on our own patterns. But the payoff is immense: a deeper, more authentic, and truly respectful relationship with your children. Small changes can make a big difference to your happiness and to the quality of your most cherished relationships. What's one move you're going to try this week? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more helpful content designed to help you live your best life at every age.